Yo, 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 yo. What is going on? Welcome to the Regal 30 podcast. I am the host, royalty at its finest, King Nappy. We got some coffee. Actually, I think this is cappuccino. I actually mixed this with a few things. It was a vanilla biscotti coffee, little K cup that I had, and I drunk it down, most of it. And I figured I'd spruce it back up for our little segment we getting ready to get into. Today been cool, man. I've been ripping and running all day. I've been driving since like maybe 8 o'clock this morning. I am tired. But I wanted to talk about this. My brother, he been getting on my head like, dude, talk about this. Talk about this. I know it's been a little minute since it happened, but talk about it. I'm like, alright. The Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Well, like other night that it happened. But I went back and I checked it out. And yeah, man, that fight was interesting. I was noticing just the stature of both fighters. With Deontay standing about 6'6", 6'7", 230, and you got not Wilder, but Fury standing about 6'9", 270, about 271. Wilder, his style matches his last name. This is a really, I wouldn't even say a wild style. Okay, I would say a wild style. But it's not really wild. It's more so like really basic. Really basic. But it's just extremely powerful. And if you're not paying attention enough, extremely fast. For a person who's looking for it and who's paying attention to those cues and those momentum cues and things like that, he's moving extremely slow to them. But for a person who may not be paying attention, kind of getting drawn to that Ronda Rousey syndrome. What I mean by that is Ronda came and hit the scene and she was just armbarring everybody and was just, cleaning house in seconds. I think before her match with Cookie, Misha Tate, and before her match with Holly Holmes, that was one of the longest. Those two were about her longest fights in the UFC. With Nunes, it was lengthier, which is surprising with the striking that was happening. But that was one of her. Those two were one of her longest fights, and those weren't that long. Especially the Nunes fight. We've seen her with, I think it was Kat Zingano with 48 seconds. I mean, every fight was like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 40 seconds, stuff like that. She was just larger than life. And, oh man, this cappuccino was pretty good. It was just the people who would get in the ring, get in the octagon with her, were more so worried about the armbar. Instead of going in and playing their style of game and executing their plan and imposing their will on her, figuring out what she's doing and how to counter that, how to combat that, how to adjust to that, they were just worried about not getting armbarred. And you would see it because they would go 2 miles an hour most of the fight, and as soon as she gets them cranked up for that armbar, you see them wheeling and dealing and scrambling, and it's just like, this is all you were worried about. This was all that you were focused on, and your worst fear for this fight began to take shape, and that's when you freak out, and then you just lose the fight. That's the only thing that's left to do is lose. I think some of the guys that Deontay were fighting was kind of still dealing with that same syndrome, where they know that right hand is coming, and they're just trying their best not to get clocked at the wrong spot with it. And of course they did. You know what I mean? Looking at his record, I want to say he's like 42 and 1 TKO or something like that. I think it's 42 or 41. I could be getting it wrong. And with Fury, I know he's like 20 knockouts. And I think the TKO is what he got tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Not tonight. Like the fight happened tonight, but that night. But yeah, I think I got the footage pulled up here. Let's take a little look-see.
To crazy as he steps down from his throne. We are set for the most anticipated Wilder, the Gypsy King.
Gypsy King.
Wilder Fury 2. Here we go.
All right, so I'm gonna highlight those a few times. He constantly does that lead with the left, come hard with the right. He's gonna do it probably again in short order right now. Yep. He did that quite a few times, and then he just got gassed, and you never saw it again. It was just
and fainting we saw out of Fury. It does not.
We did see it. It was just the laziest. There it is again. This time he didn't really lead with the left, but you can see what he's looking for. He's just looking to land that refrigerator right on. He landed it that time. But, I mean, I was constantly seeing that. There it is again. Short order.
And trying to come in, but he goes over the top.
And Wilder he's anticipating it. You can even see him timing it and ducking it. And he's bombarding him with body shots. He's trying to take the wind out of him, take the breath out of him.
He's leaning on Wilder.
And he catches him with same thing. The very same thing that he's been throwing at him this entire fight. He threw it, and I think he kind of, it was like maybe he slipped, or he maybe got pushed a little bit, a little off balance, but we don't care. People in the audience see your head rocking and see your body falling. We do not care. That is a knockdown. Don't turn around and complain. Get up. You've been throwing the same hee-haw punch this whole time.
He said he would knock him out. He's going for it here in the third round.
Wheeling and dealing. What is going on?
Is down again. That is no knockdown.
This dude is trying to make a defensive stop.
No knockdown.
Deontay Wilder doesn't have time to compete.
He's a tight end
That's always been the
now.
thing with Tyson Fury. His physical stature, it belies his skill and his
He's
ability.
wheeling. Wow.
Knockdown is scored.
When you drop on your butt like that,
Wilder, second time
you're
he's
wheeling.
been down.
And here Fury comes in again.
He fell on his butt like he had
and
a
he's
pamper
looking
on.
for the spot.
Baby
Hits him
bottle
to the
pop.
body. Deontay was off balance there and still went down.
With that counter that he hit him with when Wilder threw that, I don't know what kind of punch that was. But he caught him with a counter and then a body shot right after, short order. And that, I think he caught him with a body shot and another hit to the head. It was just different. See the ear rupture. This dude was catching you. This dude was catching you. It was a fighter that's bigger than this guy, 2 inches taller. You know, I think with shoes on. Got more championship experience than Wilder does, or at least looking at it, you know, from looking at it on paper. It looked like this guy just got just a little bit more under the belt. What is this? What is happening here? We do not want to see that.
Just coasting back into that neutral corner, and now Fury's looking to split the
taste some blood, though.
As
He has a chance to taste it. That's the fight.
This fight is over. A TKO victory. There is only one. There is only
I want to get somebody
one.
that
The king, the
wasn't worried about
undefeated heavyweight heavyweight
tactics
champion
that
of
you've
the
been carrying
world,
out and the way that
Tyson
you've been
Fury.
Deontay Wilder was taking a lot of
carrying out
punishment. It was just a
your
matter of time before Tyson Fury landed that shot
your
right
quest
there.
for victory,
Stood
man. You're
Deontay
somebody
Wilder
that
up. He's taking
was
a lot of
able to
punishment.
see what you were
That
doing
was a good stoppage by the corner.
very
They did the
easily.
right thing. They showed mercy. Deontay Wilder was getting ready to be knocked out.
And here you see it. You don't just go back in the corner and hold up your hands and
Beat the
stay there
split.
because you're an open target. And Tyson Fury seen that, and he just came, rushed ahead with his killer instinct.
I
just
thought he was
with
catching
a
with
barrage
body
of-
shots
barrage of
this
punches,
entire time. He
ended
caught
up-
me. Got
to
a little
Wilder's
steal in
credit,
at the
he
end, but he
didn't
was
quit. He
wheeling.
wasn't
You
looking
can
for a
see it
way
in
out.
his eyes. He was wheeling,
Here it goes.
and the ref just made the
Straight.
call. Ugh, caught him flush.
Punch
You were not built
down
for
the
this.
middle.
Ladies and
that's it.
gentlemen, we have the time.
It's just when you look at his previous fights, you look at this fight, you look at a lot of the footages and highlights and things like that of his, it's 80 to 85% of the same thing. It's him throwing out that left, just seeing what's out there, get a little contact, seeing locating where you are so he can know where he's going to place that right hand. And don't get me wrong, great move, especially if you catch somebody at the right time with the power that he has. It's sheer power. Let's not get it confused. That boy will hit you with a refrigerator. Sheer power. But if you get a fighter that recognizes that this is what you're doing and you're two-dimensional about it, because there may be fighters out there that do the same thing, but they may do it in a way that's not so two-dimensional. That's not so black, white, ones and twos. You know, it's guys that are maybe out there that may be able to disguise it a little bit better. That may be able to recognize this isn't working. Let's try this. But it seemed like it was just the same game plan. Throw out that left, let's hope for the right. Throw out the left, let's hope for the right. In the earlier portions of the match, he was landing a couple of them, and they was stone cold. But if you get a fighter that their jaw ain't made of glass, and they see what you're doing, they'll let you throw that. They'll let you win yourself, and he did. And every time he got a chance to counter, body. He was going right to them ribs, right to that air supply, right to them kidneys. He was going to that body, and he got worn down. And you can't throw refrigerators when you're worn down. It's just hard. It's really hard to. They're no longer refrigerators anymore. Now they're coolers. It was just that was an interesting fight to see. Congrats to Fury for getting the dub. I'm gonna have my brother come over probably this weekend and have him give me his spiel on it. I know he'll have a lot more input than I would per se. It was like I said, I've seen glimpse of what happened in this fight in, like I said, in Ronda Rousey's like latter part of her UFC tenure. She, like I said, she was armbarring everybody left and right. She was larger than life. My favorite fights with her was her and Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate, though she lost and she ended up, falling to that armbar, she drug Ronda out there in deep water. And I think that gets overshadowed, by the crazy knockout of Nunes and the even crazier one of Holly Holmes. Holly Holmes called her. I think this is weird because it's like watching those fights. It's super embarrassing to watch her in that state. There was a point in the fight with Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm where Holly was standing in one spot. Ronda charged her. Holly ducked and retreated to another spot. And Ronda turned around. That's how she turned around. Like, Ronda turned around like what just happened? And that's when I knew, like, yeah, you're not built for this fight. You know what I mean? The training that you did was inadequate for this fight. It may have worked for Kat Zingano. It may have worked for the other girls. It may have barely worked for Misha Tate. But no. That fight she was unprepared for. And it was like watching a cartoon. Like some Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd. I don't know. It was just so weird watching that. When she went against Nunes, I know I'm talking about Ronda a lot, but it just reminds me of seeing his style of fighting and how everybody is fearful of that particular style, or how that particular style has worked so well for him. And then going against a fighter that recognizes that style and develops a plan that works to counter it and gets the W. You know what I mean? And in an embarrassing fashion too. Like that, I just seeing those moments, just didn't, him falling all over the place, kind of arguing with the ref for a quick second. Excuse me. And yeah, that was an interesting fight. So Tyson take the W for that one. I hear rumors of a rematch, or I've been hearing like some little talks of a possible rematch. That'll be good. That'll be interesting to see. Because I would like to see what Wilder develops as a game plan. Because so far his game plan hasn't needed to change. So now I would like to see where the IQ steps in and him say, you know what, this isn't working against this guy. Let me figure something else out. How can we adjust? How can I elevate my game? Because don't get me wrong, the guy's an incredible fighter. Just the build alone, to be 6'7" and to have this type of power, to be able to move. He's actually very quick. Like I said, to a person who may not be paying attention. But just out the gate, great speed for that size and that build, that weight. You know, great speed, extreme amount of power. You just add a little bit of IQ, a higher IQ there, a little more experience, understanding of what he's doing, his momentum. You know, it seemed like he commits like dang near all of himself into a punch. And I get it, because you wanna bring everything. You want to bring everything you got right here to this guy. You want to hit Tyson right here, and you want to throw your body into it. You want to put your momentum into it. You want to shift that weight into it, get that shoulder into it. Like, you want to really put everything into it. It's like I see him throwing punches like he pitching, like he pitching for the MLB. He put everything into it, and I like that. But you got to learn how to control that. You can't do that the whole fight. And for an opponent, that's troublesome for an opponent, because one mistake, you get caught with everything that he has. You know what I mean? This guy ain't trying to reserve anything. He like, I want to give you everything now. And like I said, it's worked for him for so long. And then here in this particular setting, it just didn't. So it would be definitely interesting seeing how he pieces together a game plan, how he maps out what he's going to do when he steps into the ring the next time with this guy. And the guy as well. Like, hey, you know, this is how I defended myself, and this is how I was able to come away with the W. This may not work next time. You know, so what am I going to do in order to ensure that I can retain this W? So that's going to be interesting. That is it for this little episode. I just wanted to talk real quick on that and just sort of speak on that a little bit, because I thought that was pretty cool. That my brother wanted me to speak on it, and I was like, you know, I'm going to check that out. So I'm probably doing more of those. Just checking out some fights that catch my attention and just speaking on it and just throwing my thoughts on it. Late or not. I will catch you guys later. Thank you guys for dropping by and just checking out the video. If you like the video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys next time. King Nappy. Peace.